First Encounter by Lyris Malachi. I'm going to assume that says.
Malachi.
Malachi.
Malachi. Hogwarts has contracted a disease called loneliness, and the giant squid as the only cure. Hogwarts giant squid. So we're doing Kraken Harry Potter fan fiction.
Oh, you can already tell this is shaping up to be a laugh riot.
I like the fact it's Hogwarts itself too. Is in the it's going to bone the school, not the people, just the school.
Just in case you didn't know, the characters within the story solely belong to J.K. Rowling and Warner Brothers. So we can assume that the Harry Potter characters belong to J.K. Rowling, but also the Squid. The Squid obviously is copyright from J.K. Rowling.
It was one of the extra books. Harry Potter and the Demon of the Deep.
Harry Potter and Cthulhu's penis.
It's like the giant snake thing from the second film.
The giants. That was just a tentacle.
That was one of it. There we go. It wasn't actually a basilisk. It was just a tentacle.
There's 7 more of them, and Harry has to kill them all in the next book, Harry Potter and the rest of the stuff.
Like they kill the thing with the sword, and then it just opens up the door, and there's this giant demon squid standing there, like you're ready for a digging.
Harry's like, you know what? I'm done. I think the sword of Gryffindor can just stay here for a little bit. I'm gonna go.
Okay. Author's note: unbaited one short. So at least it's only a short.
Fair enough.
We'll consider it like a band-aid, short and incredibly painful.
So we'll start it then. Hogwarts sighed, and it echoed within his empty halls.
His empty halls.
Hogwarts is a man, let's assume this.
Sexists. Carry on.
The students had all left for so at Hogwarts, so we've established that the students are all gone. This fan fiction is between a squid and the actual venue of Hogwarts.
The students have all left for the summer, and he felt empty and useless. Oh god damn it, has feelings. Hagrid was often around, but he was usually too focused on bizarre animals to fulfill the needs of Hogwarts.
The building has sexual frustration. Okay.
The professors would pop in occasionally, but being a magic school, Hogwarts didn't need much upkeeping. The little he did need was taken care of by Filch.
Filch.
That's a character, it sounds dirty though. He always had a dirty name.
Well, it's splendid, isn't it? I mean, like, no one will take care of your sexual relief except a guy named Filch.
Oh,
you are living the dream.
Oh, correct me if I'm wrong. You're on Google duty, by the way. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Filch was the bald guy with the cat in the films.
Let's
he?
find out.
I'm 80% sure, 99% sure that was Filch, because that... Oh, can you just imagine, like, Dumbledore coming around the corner to see him, pants down, boning the upholstery?
Oh dear God. He shuddered, causing small trembles throughout his halls that was barely discernible, except by the spiders and owls. So now it's set in stone. This is 100% the sentient venue of Hogwarts that we are talking about in this story.
How would... they could make a porno out of the fact that kids are going in and... Oh god, that came out so wrong.
Well,
Moving on.
You need to stop talking.
He didn't care much for Phil. We're doing a freaking romance fan fiction. You expect dirty stuff to come out. He didn't care much for Filch, wishing he could walk without his squib feet touching his magnificent stone floors. He had long since stopped trying to force his floors open to swallow Filch and Mrs. Norris whole. Besides, if he kept it up, he would be risking a prolonged staircase.
Prolapsed staircase. So
Wow.
are we to assume that in the term of like building anatomy, staircases are akin to sphincters?
Does that mean that but the staircases in Hogwarts moved?
And the children just like there's just all the students just walking up your moving butthole.
The children shit, but they go up and down. Which way is out?
Oh, I don't know anymore.
All those like moving staircases thing. If they could go around it like, so, oh my god, we're talking about some sort of architectural human centipede.
Well, I suppose that explains the lack of wheelchair accessibility.
Yeah, fuck you, Hogwarts. Equal rights, my ass.
Well, let's get on. The giant squid saw how miserable Hogwarts was. It was true that he also missed the students, but for an entirely different reason. He
God.
missed their terrifying screams as he revealed himself rising from the murky depths of the lake.
I like the fact that that'd be his form of entertainment. Just the giant squid rises up and goes, boo! He's a Scooby-Doo villain.
I like that this giant squid, who takes pleasure in scaring the students, looks over at the building and goes, "Aw, the building looks so sad."
His huge eyes stared mournfully at his very large tentacles. And what, wait, eyes? The squid's eyes? Okay.
I
At
hope
one
it's not the
time,
buildings.
he had dreams of being an actor. The larger he grew, the fewer agents and scouts would come calling, until they finally stopped altogether. There wasn't much in the market for a squid that would split a schoolgirl from stem to stern.
Okay.
Is
So,
this guy lady Japanese?
so we've already established that the squid is going to rape Hogwarts at some point.
He can split a schoolgirl from stem to stern. I don't know where the stem is located in the girl, or the stern.
Stem, I can only assume it's like from the nave to the chops.
Anyway,
He stared at his tentacles as they moved gently in the current. Schoolgirls were out. A plan formed in his mind, and he swam to the surface, hesitating momentarily before pulling himself from the water. It ran off his rubbery skin in rivulets as he made his way across the grounds. No humans were around to witness the incredible trek, and no human would believe his eyes had he been a witness. Hogwarts watched the giant squid approach and felt apprehension well up in his kitchen.
what are you doing? The words weren't spoken, but they were understood. What?
He felt it in his kitchen. Just trust me, the giant squid replied, caressing Hogwarts' outer walls. I'm not ready, Hogwarts exclaimed, trying to push the giant squid away with his magic.
What's his magic?
This building, which was just moments ago craving cock, is now trying to push the giant squid
Because
away.
it wants people cock, or at the very least another building's cock.
I don't think people cock is enough to satisfy a hall as wide and loose as Hogwarts.
Well, how big is this squid?
This squid is obviously big enough to caress the outer walls.
Ugh. Hogwarts, you're lonely. I'm lonely. We don't have to be. Besides, you can't go around manipulating your staircases. Is it accusing him of masturbation?
Oh god.
Wow, okay, so he's obviously got some sort of values.
Well, I suppose the next sentence confirms it. You know about that?
Everyone does. Sort
Everyone does it.
of. Sorry.
So moving the staircases is a form of masturbation for Hogwarts.
And the squid apparently knows about it. That's beside the point. I've never... The temperature rose with... The temperature within rose in embarrassment.
I'll go slow, I promise. He began to caress a window, teasing it open. Hogwarts sighed, the fight leaving him. He relaxed, allowing the tentacle inside where it brushed against the inner walls before setting on the stone floor. He fastened the suction cups to the floor, lifting the tentacle away so that it pulled on the floor without losing its grip. I've got to give it to this person. Like, in terms of like exposition, this is setting up a very sexual setting. The only difference being that I can't really get an erection over buildings.
Well, right, or tentacles. Or suction cups.
Well, I can make do.
Okay, I've just learnt something I didn't need to know about you. Probably already.
well, I've
Another
learned something I don't need to know about you.
Another sigh swept through the halls of Hogwarts. Oh, Merlin, what?
Merlin?
Merlin?
Who is the squid named Merlin?
Is it a joke on
Oh
Marlin?
God!
Is it a joke on Marlin?
No, I think the ancient wizard Merlin has taken the form of a squid to rape Hogwarts. His rapture turned to fright as he felt a tentacle work its way into a second window.
I don't.
Trust me, it'll feel good. Remember this? He pulled the suction cups a little harder, and Hogwarts groaned.
I want you to remember that next time your house visit makes a noise. It's not settling, it's groaning.
I want to
Check your
remember
basement for sex squids.
They're built in.
Oh, do that
Do that.
again. The giant squid complied, and as he did so, thrust his second tentacle in. Hogwarts shuddered, coming very close to ending the fun. The giant squid backed off, unwilling to finish so soon. He waited for Hogwarts to calm down before sending the second tentacle to search the room. He felt the need to fill Hogwarts as much as possible, and he raised another tentacle, caressing his outer walls, running along the windowsills and tracing the individual bricks. So caught up in the bliss, Hogwarts didn't notice the giant squid slip in the third and fourth tentacle.
I'm just amazed, right?
I never liked calamari anyway.
If you change the wording, this would be completely normal erotica. Like it's clearly that it's just involving like fucking fingering some chick. It's clearly just that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the person writing this has decided, fucking men and women, that's sexually unappealing to me.
He's looked at me.
You know-
That's old school. You know what we need?
You know what really gets me off?
Fictional magical education systems.
And cephalopods.
Some point he was watching the old Godzilla movies with all in the rubber suits, saw one of the monsters come up and thought, I would like to watch that, fuck a school.
No. They've got him fighting Godzilla, and they're like, why is he fighting Godzilla? Just fuck that skyscraper.
Yeah, you get thrown into that Parliament House, you dirty, dirty squid.
Now
This
that
is-
mental image will never leave.
We're going to have a lot of those. This is incredible, Hogwarts breathed. How is it breathing?
I don't know. Probably the same
biological
way it's getting
aspect-
raped by a squid.
The biological aspects of a building do not work that way, seeing as
Breathes
it has
from
none.
its kitchen.
It breathes from its kitchen.
This isn't even the best part. He held up his two longest tentacles. These can reach farther than a room. They can go into your hallway.
Man, censor that. We got kids in the room. We gotta get at you. I want them in me. Are you sure? They're quite large. Ooh. Fucking little bitch, isn't he?
Does the person who wrote this, does little Mr. or Miss Malachi imagine themselves, do they self-insert as the squid or as the building?
I can't say. I genuinely can't say. Apprehension rolled through his kitchen again. While he was deciding, the giant squid forced another tentacle in. You have 3 tentacles left to decide.
What happens if I don't? In response, the giant squid slid a 6th into another window. 2, he said simply, with a hint of warning.
Hogwarts could take them all. He knew he could. But what would the other wizarding schools think? The implications of that horrify me.
All
Would
the other
Bo back-
wizarding schools. I was just like, guess what, Hogwarts? We heard you got raped by a squid. Fucking like, I don't know, the Australian Institute for Magic, like fucking Gundagai Wizard Academy. Comes up and he's like, oh, I heard you got fucking fagged by a bloody squid hammer.
How did you fuck up an
Pump
Australian
fucker.
accent?
Oh, clearly the buildings would have accents.
So, yeah, of course they'd have accents. I'm just trying to think of the conversation that they would have.
Well, they're buildings, so I can't really imagine they talk to each other
So
that
I
much.
heard you got a kraken in your halls.
Oh, God.
I got a little cuttlefish in mine, if you know what I'm saying. Would Bee Baxtons allow a giant squid to violate her? Okay, so there are male and female schools, which means that he has the option to be attracted to male and female schools, but instead he's going for the squid.
Well, to be fair enough, they've just, in the very next sentence, they've just confirmed that Bo Baxtons would not allow a giant squid to violate Hogwarts at all. Certainly not. No, I'm fine with Hogwarts craving dick. But as soon as it actually gets fucked by a giant squid, that's where I draw the line.
Certainly not. If Durmstrang ever found out, there'd be no end of teasing. Well, yeah, you're a freak.
You're just getting raped by a squid.
The
How would Bobattens try to explain that to everyone else?
How would they find out?
Durmstrang.
The, the giant squid grew impatient and slid a seventh tentacle into a window, followed immediately by an eighth. 2, 1, time's up and you didn't decide.
What? But that's not fair.
It's a simple answer, yes or no. Now I'll have to punish you. Okay. And with that, he struck Hogwarts square in the outer wall with a paddle-like tentacle.
Wait, no, he's used all of his tentacles at this point.
I'd like to point out also that there is no way... Oh, I guess it's a fictional squid, but still, squids don't have paddle tentacles. So
You do
if
now.
squids could manipulate their tentacles into objects like that, they would be the dominant species.
I think this is its squid dick.
Okay. Although, actually, wait, no, squids have 10 tentacles, so he does have another 2.
The next
Wait, no,
sentence just
biologically, this is entirely accurate.
the next sentence just completely defies all reasoning. Hogwarts more so. Hogwarts yelped and tried to squirm away.
Okay. I'd like to see a building squirm.
But the tentacles and his foundation held firm. So, the building, the entirety of Hogwarts, is trying to squirm away. And yet nobody is noticing.
They've all gone home for the summer.
Nobody is noticing the entire building is moving.
I think people have noticed. They've looked at the site, just gone, I don't want to know anything about what's going on there, and just walked away. The giant squid struck him with another. Again and again, he spanked the naughty wizarding school. Until he sobbed for the giant squid to stop, and still he spanked. The giant squid finally stopped, but Hogwarts didn't have time for a reprieve before the giant squid forced his extra long spanking tentacles into 2 separate windows. They slid through the room and forced the doors open, the pain only adding to Hogwarts' pleasure. The tentacles were in the halls now, massaging the long stone tunnels. So when the kids come back, right?
Yes.
They're going to come back into school and they're going to go into that big hall area, right, where they have all the floating candles.
Yes.
Now, the squid would be wet and slimy. Does that mean it is literally going to be Hagrid and Filch's job to come in there at some point and scrub all the love juice off of the entire building?
Yes.
That has got to be on Dirty Jobs.
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Mike Rowe, and I'm going to clean up a building that has been raped by a squid. This was incredible, the giant squid thought. He really should have done this ages ago. Every tentacle was in a different window. No schoolgirl, no matter how many movies she made, could hold all 10 tentacles at once.
You're watching the wrong films, my friend. I'm not ashamed.
The amount of movies she watched depends, it actually
well, he's an actor.
affects how many she can hold.
I didn't realise that. I didn't realise he was a porn star squid. I didn't realise that. That just makes so much more sense. Continue.
Each one moved differently and with a different pace, driving Hogwarts crazy with the inability to match his speed.
It tends to happen when one's a building and the other one's actually capable of self-powered movement.
And one's a rapist.
Yeah, the biological thing is freaking me out here. That's the problem I'm having.
Hey, as soon as the building wanted to fuck, I was like, that's
anything goes.
Clearly, realism is not the aim of this piece.
He felt that familiar feeling, and doubling his efforts, ink exploded all over Hogwarts. And some finding its way into the windows. I can't read this.
He unified his tentacles somewhat, completely focused on Hogwarts. He must be close.
There's gonna be ink as well as the squid love juice.
Ink's already exploded all over Hogwarts.
Someone gonna come back and go, damn it, what happened? Oh, I can't even. No, that's fuck. Okay, what? Anyway, then it happened. Water shot out of faucets, toilets overflowed, and bread set in ovens to keep warm by thoughtful house elves exploded. Hogwarts shook violently to its foundations, rousing Filch from the bed and sending house elves and Mrs. Norris scrambling for cover. Even Hagrid heard the groan of stone and came running.
So wait. People are in Hogwarts right now.
Yes, I thought it was empty.
I thought it was empty too. Obviously, Filch is here, the house elves are here, Hagrid's here, and Miss Norris is here. And none of them have noticed the building squirming to try and get away from a rapist. Nor have they, heard the moaning of the squid and the building. Nor have they noticed when the squid practically jizzed in the building.
Did they, by power of... I can't remember the word I'm looking for. Did they also get raped? Because they were inside the building?
Well, that's the sequel. They searched around the castle and through the castle, but found no sign of intruders. Most perplexing was the sticky ink on one side of the castle. Hagrid peered through the dark towards the lake, but was unable to see the ripples left in the wake of the giant squid.
The giant squid slipped beneath the waves, wanting to grin even though his beak was incapable. That's the best line of the entire thing.
Okay.
He anticipated a very short summer before the professors and students returned, so he had better make the most of it. There's gonna be more rape. Brilliant.
Now what I've just been neglecting to think about this entire time. The squid is stone-faced throughout this entire thing. The beak, there's one expression that he's making.
The squid can't make expressions.
Exactly.
Eyes don't have eyelid.
There's one expression, and it's an expression of rape.
Those blank squid eyes.
He's just like,
you know
I'm
that
raping.
old picture? This is basically okay. You know that old picture of the Kraken, on the wood carving, pulling down the ship.
Yeah.
This is basically the story of that Kraken if they replace the ship with Hogwarts.
I suppose so.
Congratulations, Internet, you have been here to listen to a giant squid rape a building from Harry Potter.
Here lie Squidward's hopes and dreams.